243 of the Coach Taylor podcast. If you follow my podcast, you'll notice I haven't podcasted for a few weeks. I think actually almost a month. I've been just crazy busy. School got busy and business got busy, so I'm currently working at changing a lot of the stuff that I do and how I do it and how I revamp that and how that all goes. So I've just been studying school, studying business, studying me and everything like that. And so you're either listening to this or you're watching this. If you're watching this, you'll see it's a much nicer video. So it's not live streamed. I may live stream here and there as we go, depending on when I'm filming and recording, but we'll see how it goes. You tell me if you want me to live stream it or not. So what we're going to talk about on this episode, I'm just going to talk about what I'm talking about right now, the new format, everything like that. And we're going to talk about fat loss and how confusing it is, and should it be confusing and should it not be confusing, and what's the difference between fat loss and weight loss and all those types of topics. And then at the end of the podcast, I'm going to talk about my new program that's coming up, body design, based on all of that stuff. Just give you a little overview of it and see if that's something that you might be interested in. Because it's just like I'm tired of so much of the stuff in the fitness industry that is just really crappy and leaves people confused and not knowing what to do, and then you end up doing fad programs and like all this stuff. So that's what we're going to get into. So you're going to see like a little bit of change on how I do the podcast. What I'm talking about is I just want to talk more about what you need to be doing. There's a million people out there telling you, do a lunge like this, do a squat like that. If you want all that stuff, I'll do that for you, right? I have a monthly membership program of workouts that's going really awesome, my body strength program. You can do that with me. You can hire me as a private coach. You can't, because I don't want to do very much of that stuff. You could, but you have to pay me an awful lot of money to do that. Right? So if you want that, like there's everything out there. And the truth is, when it comes to fitness and health, so much. Look, I've had this argument so many times with people over the years. Why do different programs work? It's because what works is moving your body and making your muscles work and getting your heart rate up. And there's a bajillion different ways to do that. So what works is doing it in a way that works for you so that you keep doing it. So the great coaches of the world, what makes them great coaches and why you should follow them and who you should be working with isn't based on the exercises that they give you. It's not based on the recipes that they give you. What it's based on is, do they know how to help you get where you need to be? Do they have the right answers for you when you have questions about how to stay motivated, what you should be doing? Are you doing the right programs and the right things? Those are what great coaches do. That's why when you look at coaches for professional sports teams, there's a whole shit ton of assistant coaches and like special coaches, right? Because the head coach, the coach that you want, their job is the overview. So make sure you're doing the overview of what you're supposed to be doing, answering those questions and doing the motivation and knowing what's going on with the big picture. And so that's what's really important, and what I want to work on mostly with people, because I think I've spent too much time in the specifics, and by doing that, I've missed out on giving you what you really need. Because what you need is not another lunge. It's not another version of an exercise. What you need are answers to how to keep fit, how to eat well, how to incorporate that stuff into your life. That's what you really need. Even if that's not what you think you need, I'm telling you right now, that is what you need. So that's what I'm going to be doing on you. So look, if you want specific exercises and specific diets and things like that, send me questions. I'll still put questions onto the podcast, like, and answer that kind of stuff for you. If I ever live stream some, we can do that live, no problem. But if you want this stuff, join my Facebook group, my Coach Taylor Facebook group. Go in there and ask me all the questions you want, right? But this is just going to be a few minutes just to talk about things differently. So we'll talk about my new body design program at the end, fat loss, weight loss, all that kind of stuff. And the other thing is I put up a video this week that you should check out. I'm going to be sharing a lot more of my personal story and where I came from and what got me into this business and everything like that. So I put up one about fat loss and body image. And body image is really important, and it might surprise you, the people that you know, how they feel about their body image. So it's something to think about and look at. Check that video out too. You'll see they're fancy. They'll have like closed captions on them now. How cool is that? Fucking technology is amazing. Also, I'm trying to swear less, mostly because my videos, I need to go to places that will not let me post them if I swear too much. And I do recognize this. A lot of you want to listen to the podcast and can't because you have children with you or you're in public or somewhere like that, and I swear so much that you can't listen to the podcast. So it's not going to be like swearing free, but I'm going to tone her down a little bit just so that more people can listen to it when they want to and they need to, right? All right, so let's jump into this thing. And so what I want to talk about mostly today is this idea that weight loss and fat loss is really confusing and it's really hard. So can we differentiate first between weight loss and fat loss, right? I try not to have people lose weight because in order to lose weight, you have to weigh yourself. And your weight is such an arbitrary number that's really not important to anything. And it just makes people feel worse than better most of the time. So I don't want you to do weight loss. But I understand and I recognize that people want to change what their body looks like. I know because I do. Watch that video I just told you about. I want to change my body what it looks like too. When I make these videos, I'm recording this right now, I post downloads, all I see is a roll on my stomach that hangs over my shorts. When I wear a shirt that's not loose, I feel like my stomach sticks out all the time. I understand body image. I've been in this business for 20 years and I'm still not where I really want to be with things. So I understand it. And I try to push people away from that as much as possible. I really do. But I also understand that we live in a culture that it's important and it becomes valued. And we can fight that all we want, but it is. And it's what people do is we say, oh, we fight it, we put the memes, and you shouldn't be focused on that. And then what do people do? They just secretly go and deal with it and talk about it. So am I being a good coach by ignoring the fact that you're going to do these things? You're going to try to lose weight. You're going to try to lose fat. You're going to try to change what your body looks like when I'm doing the same thing. So that's what I want to talk about with it. Now, I still don't want you to weigh yourself because even if your goal is to change what your body looks like, your weight is not a good marker of that. What is a good marker of that? Looking at your body. Shocking, I know, right? But pictures and measurements can be good too. And then also how your clothes fit. How your clothes are fitting is something that you can start to look at for a marker of if your body's changing. That's how we start to do it, okay? So how do you go about losing fat? What's the best way? Because here's the thing is I don't want you sucked into fads and programs or anything like that. You can still follow good health protocols. You can still eat good food and all of that. You don't need to do all that crazy stuff. So weight loss and fat loss, it's not confusing. You might think that it is, right? Because it seems like every day there's a new secret, a new fad, a new program. This trainer says this trainer says that, this coach says this celebrity's doing that. Of course, and then you go to your doctor, they tell you one thing, and then your nutritionist tells you, it feels confusing, but the truth is that it's not confusing. It's extraordinarily simple. It really is. But the fitness industry 100% makes it worse because they're focused on selling you things. They don't want it. They don't want the message to be out there that it's actually really simple. They want to keep you confused. The makeup industry wants to keep you confused. The clothing industry wants to keep you confused. The diet and everybody wants you confused because then you buy products. It's easier to sell you products, and that's why they do that. Right? And then it's also it's so rare in the fitness world that someone knows what they're talking about, right? It's all you get these weird things I can't even explain the craziness of it all, right? And I understand how you feel because I feel the same way. You want to be free of that clutter, that crap in your mind and that crap coming at you on Instagram, on Facebook, TV, if you still watch TV. Do people still watch TV and like commercials and things like that? I don't know if people do that. I haven't watched a TV commercial for probably like 8 years. So, right? But you want it to be simple. You want to know, like, what do I do? What exercise do I do? What do I put in my mouth? Right? And you want to know that you can trust that. And that's hard. That's really hard in the fitness industry because you can't trust most people because most people don't have a clue what they're doing and what they're talking about. You don't want to have to buy products and you don't want to buy supplements. You don't want to get sucked into like fads that are going to last for 3 weeks and then be done. You're going to spend all that money. Like, and so what I ask people at times, like, what would it feel like if you could be free of that? If you could be free of all of that crap? Right? And to feel that you could actually do something and sustain it that will get you to your fat loss goals, get you into change your body in the way that you want to change it, right? Like what would that feel like for you? Like, just think about that for a second. 'Cause I think about that. If I could make these videos and do demo videos and exercise videos and not first like look at my stomach and like what it looks like and compare myself to all the other trainers and coaches and like the fact that I've got a hairy chest and body hair. I am not a hair-free dude, you know? Like I'm not going to be on the cover of a magazine anytime soon. So it just like, it would feel nice, right? Like wouldn't that feel nice to be done with that shit? But it's confusing. It seems confusing. Go on to Instagram, go on to Facebook, and everyone's saying something different, right? Like, what is it right now? Plant-based is the big thing. But remember 2 years ago when it was like, eat more meat? And then like, this one's good. There's always like, do cardio, don't do cardio, do resistance training, don't do resistance training, do more cardio, do less cardio, do it. Go right now. Like, pause this podcast, go onto Instagram and just scroll your feed. 100% scroll your feed. Even if you don't watch this stuff, I promise you, within 1 minute, you're going to see at least one health product or service or program being either marketed to you or a friend's talking about it, at least one. And then keep going, and within another minute, you're going to see one more thing that says like the opposite or something different. It's so confusing. It's seemingly so confusing, but is it really? I don't know. Look, I've got notes. So if you're watching the video, you're seeing right now, like, oh shit, I hit the mic. There's the swearing again. I don't know if I can stop. I got notes, so I remember all the things that I want to tell you guys because I care. Like, all this comes down to it because like I just care. So like, you go onto all these places, and then like, even if you like get past that, what happens is you buy a program or you hire a coach, and then like they tell you something different. So all this just makes you like confused. So no wonder people can't stick to anything. How are you supposed to stick to something when like every 4 seconds something new is coming up, making you doubt your belief in that? Right? Like, how do you trust anybody? How do you trust anyone? How do you trust a program? Like anything? Like, it's just like, it's really messed up. And I know how that feels. It feels helpless and like nothing's ever going to work. And that's what happens before people even start on the program or the plan. They've already decided, no, this isn't going to work. I know, because like I've been there. I've been there a million times. I've coached thousands of people. And I will tell you, honestly, something that happens all the time is people decide they're going to fail before they ever even start something. 100%. It happens all the time. And I want to see that kind of thing stop. Right? And so that's like, we got to go into it with it. But I get why it's like that. You feel helpless and nothing's ever going to work because nothing has worked. And these messages are coming at you like everything's so confusing. Right? But the irony of all of this stuff is that your diet and your nutrition and your fitness, right? And a lot of those lifestyle factors and how you get there, how you get to losing body fat and change what your body looks like is actually very simple. It's really, I call this the dirty secret the fitness industry doesn't want you to know. Because it is really simple. And you don't have to feel that confusion anymore. Like I've dedicated my career to learning everything that I can, practicing it all, and then bringing that information to people so that you can cut out some of this crap. right? Like this is like literally what I do, because it doesn't need to be like that. Like, I don't know, it's so simple, but it's not easy. So sometimes I get stuck, like, where do I even go with this? Look, if you've done my anti-diet program or read about my anti-diet program, or you're part of my Body Strength, my online membership program, the people that get into that and do that with me, you've realized, okay, wait, like, I paid for this because it seems simple. But again, that's what a good coach should do. That's what an expert does, is they make complicated things seem easy. And so that's what you get into with these programs, because it is simple to do. Now, I'm saying simple, but I'm not saying easy, because it's hard to make the choices and do the things that you need to do. It's hard. It's far easier to buy a new supplement, start popping that, to do like a 2-week boot camp program, to try out the next fad diet, knowing, like I talked about before, that you're probably going to fail on it. So there's not really that much commitment. And then when it doesn't work, you're right back in the same place. And you know what? All your friends, they're telling you the same thing. Oh, that's too bad. Like, I tried that too, and it doesn't work. And then you blame the program and everything. Like, I know that setup. I know where that's coming from. So this is why people get into my programs. Look, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. And you've heard me say most of this stuff before. Why? Because it is the way to do it. The way to do it is cook your own food. That's the secret to your diet. Cook all of your own food. That is like the premise of my anti-diet program. There we go. What about your fitness? So look, people start doing my Body Strength program. Here's how my Body Strength program works. Every month, I give you 6 workouts. Those 6 workouts you repeat twice. 12. That's 12 workouts for the month. I'm going to tell you right now, 50% of people actually get 12 workouts. 50% of people don't quite get there. So this is a good quote that I heard the other day. Everyone's so busy trying to run 10 miles, they forget that they have to do the first mile. Right? So everyone's like, got to do this like hardcore program, get into an exercise routine. So I get them into my Body Strength program. And people have a hard time just getting through the 6 workouts twice, 12 workouts. But then people will be like, well, that's only 6 workouts for the month. Like, that'll be boring, blah, blah, blah. Okay, doing a workout twice is not boring. Like, that's just like normalcy. That's how you should train. And most people aren't even doing that. Some people are super keen, like do them 3 times. That's 18 workouts in a month. Now we're starting to get there, but that's it. It's that simplicity, right? Because your body responds really well to repetition. And a podcast down the road here and some videos I'm going to put out down the road, we're going to talk about the fact that like muscle confusing your body is like, it's a terrible thing. It's a totally terrible thing that no one should have ever talked about. We need to get rid of that. So yeah, it's like, that's what you need to do. You need to have, it's far more important to do consistent exercise than it is to have varied exercise. You need to just move your body. If you want, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to do something that will totally change your life over the next 40 years and make you fitter and healthier, 100%, this is true, this is real, what I'm going to tell you right now, do 10 push-ups when you wake up and 10 push-ups before you go to bed. Every single day for the rest of your life. I promise you that will have more impact on your fitness than following this fad program, that fad program, joining this gym, quitting that gym, joining this, doing this, and having those ups and downs. I promise you. You guys all remember the story. Like, we grew up with the story, the tortoise and the hare. Like, how as a culture have we forgotten that story? That slow, methodical repetition. That's the whole purpose of that story. And this is why losing fat is actually, and changing your body is so simple. All you have to do is move your body and exercise 10 to 15 minutes a day, most days of the week, and cook your own food. Done. If you do those things, you will lose fat and change your body. Be healthier, be fitter, feel better about yourself. Now, it's not going to happen in a week. It might take a couple of years. This is another problem people have. We get to that tortoise hair, right? We have a really hard time in our culture looking down the road and thinking down the road like that. So we have to think about those things. But that's it. That's how you do it. So like, you need to decide right now, are you going to keep doing that same thing over and over again? Search Instagram, get more complicated programs, hire a new coach, follow the latest fads, see what the latest celebrity's doing in the magazine right there, or step back and just say, yo, this is enough. Look, you're listening to my podcast, you watch my videos, you read my stuff. Why are you still doing this stuff? The simplicity will free you of all of that. Just do those two things. That's it. Trust me, you're watching this, you're still here, you're listening to this, you're still here. Just trust in that. And that's the answers. It's not as complicated as we think. You think it's so complicated, so confusing. It's not. I literally just cut it through for you. Now, yeah, there's a million other layers to that and things we can add in, and having a coach there to support you and a group of people around you to support you is huge. I do my best to provide that. There's other ways to do that too, but those are the two things. You've got to do those two things, and that's why. Yeah, so that's my message for you on this episode. So look, I've designed a new program, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit here, so tune out if you don't want to hear this. I made a program called the Body Design Program. And it's to design your body. If you want it to get bigger, leaner, whatever you want. If you want to get taller or shorter, get long, lean muscles, there it is. It's really hard. I've done pretty good though. You've got to admit, this episode, I've done pretty good. You can't get long, lean muscles. Your muscles are the length that they are. So that's just stupid. We're not going to talk about that. But why did I create this program? Aren't you against weight loss, coach? Well, yeah. But I realize that people are going to go out there and they're going to seek out ways to do this and to lose weight and lose fat and change their body and look a different way, whatever they perceive to be better in a bikini or board shorts or whatever you want to do. So look, I made a program. 6 weeks. I'm charging $37 for it. It's $37. What is this program? All that stuff I just told you. I'm going to essentially take everything that I coach people and put it into a 6-week program. So all you've got to do for 6 weeks is the workouts that I put there, and I'm calling it a plug-and-play nutrition program. It's literally going to be like a week. So look, you're going to get 5 workouts, and for 6 weeks, you're going to repeat those same workouts every week. Trust me, that's really important. That's one of the keys. I got future in the next week's episode. I'm going to talk about this. Listen to the next week's episode of the podcast. I will tell you why it is so important that I'm designing it like that. There is a deep methodology to that. Right? And then I've got this nutrition program that's going to be like a week. And it's literally going to say, eat at this time. And it's going to say, your meal should consist of this, this, and this. It'll be like a green vegetable, a meat, fat, and then I'm going to have a list of all of the things. So you're literally just going to take the list. It's going to say green vegetable. You're going to go into the list. There's going to be a list of green vegetables. Pick one, boom, plug it in. Meat, pick one, boom, plug it in. Fat, there'll be a list of them. Pick one, boom, plug it in. That's your meal. Now, you can cook it however you want, but you have to cook it. Remember we talked about earlier, you've got to cook your food, right? And you're going to cook it, but done. That's all you have to do. And then that pattern will repeat each week of the 6 weeks. You can plug in different foods if you want variety, or you can just make a 1-week plan and repeat that 6 times, plugging in foods that I'm going to give. I'm giving you everything. And there's going to be a few lifestyle things that have to be in there. I haven't fully determined what they're going to be, but they're going to be simple, and everyone's going to be able to do them. Like a 1-minute meditation every day, right? Simple things like that. And that is the Body Design Program, 6 weeks. Now, are you going to get the body that you've dreamed about your whole life in 6 weeks? Probably not. Are you going to see changes in your body in 6 weeks? Yes, 100%. If you do it exactly like I tell you, put your trust into me, I will free you from the confusion. Put that trust into me, I will free you from it. And you will see changes in your body in 6 weeks. So look, if you want the details of it, go into the show notes of this. If you're watching it, it'll be posted in there. If you're listening to it, it'll be posted on the in there too. There's a link. Yeah, you have to give me your email address to get the form, because I just don't want this stuff going out to everybody. All right, but you can plug that in, and I'll give you that full PDF. If you've got questions, you can email me, comment, whatever you need to do. And that's that. So that's episode 143. I know it's short, but I'm recording this at 5:30 at night, and I just don't want to talk anymore. So that is episode 143. Thanks back. I am back. I will be back to consistent podcasting. Don't worry. I've got your back. Coach Taylor's here. So if you've got questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Thank you so much.